Heyo, Rowdy Lemon here, and today let's make death feel great. In this Unity tutorial series, we're going to be doing a couple of things to make the death of our AI enemies feel awesome. To accomplish that, I think we're going to need four things: particle effects, body parts, blood, and a sprinkle of screen shake. Together, this recipe can produce some pretty satisfying results. Alright, let's get started. In this video, I'm going to show you how I like to make my blood spray particle effects. As you can see, I've already set a couple things up, such as my folder structure. I've also already imported and animated the guy that we're going to be killing here today. First things first, let's make a simple script to make him die after a couple seconds. To do that, I'm just going to go into my scripts folder. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go create C# script. And I'll just call it something simple and descriptive like die after X seconds. Alright, let's go ahead and open that up real fast. In this script, I'm just going to create a public float variable called death time. Then I'm going to remove the update function because we're not going to need that, but I will create a new coroutine function, so I in numerator. I'm going to call it death, and death is going to yield return a new wait 4 seconds, and we're going to wait the death time. And then after we're done waiting, we're going to destroy this game object. Then in start, we're just going to start this coroutine by calling start coroutine death. Perfect. Now later on, after we finish creating our blood spray particle effect, we'll instantiate that in here as well. So we'll be back. Now for the fun part of the video, let's make the blood spray particle effect. So in your hierarchy, you just click create, go to effects, particle system. First things first, let's go ahead and make this not looping because we just want our spray to spray once. Change the duration to 0.1. Then what I'll do is I'll come down here in the renderer. I'm going to want to render a sprite that I had drawn, so I'm going to change default particle to be sprite default. Then I'm going to enable texture sheet animation, expand that, change the mode from grid to sprites, and then I'm going to select the blood sprite that I had drawn earlier. Then in shape, I'm going to change it from a cone to be a edge. I'm going to adjust the radius to be something like 0.1 and the randomized direction to be 0.3. That'll make it spray in kind of a cone upwards. And remember to change your rotation on the particle system to be back to 0. Let's test that real quick, so I can just hit play. Nothing. Oh yes, and then in emission as well, we need to add an emission. So hit the plus sign here. And the count, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a random between two constants. We'll go 10 to 20 blood drops get sprayed out. So let me play this now. Yep, there we go. Alright, now to give it that kind of trajectory where it goes up and then falls back down using gravity, we just have to enable gravity here. So now it should have kind of an arc to it. Yep, sweet. So next, I think I want to change the lifetime. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to change it to be a random between two constants. I'll do between 1 and 1.5 seconds. Start speed, I'm also going to do a random between two constants. So maybe 5 to 10. So it has a lot of variability in how fast each blood droplet sprays out. And then we want to change the size. As you noticed when I hit it play before, the blood droplets were pretty huge, so I'm going to go random between two constants and do 0.1 to 0.5. And let's see what that's looking like now. Oh, nice. Yep, so that's already looking pretty good. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a random between two colors for it as well. And I'm going to go maybe like a little darker gray, and so this will just make some of the blood droplets appear a little bit darker than the others, just so you have some variability in the color of your blood drops. Cool. And then stop action, I'm going to change that to destroy so we don't just get a ton of particles in our environment that never go away. And last thing I'm going to do is change the size over lifetime. So I'm just going to come in here, and at the beginning it'll be 1. At the end of its life I want it to be 0. That way you kind of have your particles shrink over time so they don't just abruptly disappear. It doesn't feel so abrupt when they end. Yeah, that looks excellent. Cool. All right, we have our blood spray particle effect. So I'm just going to call this blood spray, and I'm going to drag that into my prefabs folder. Next, I'm just going to go back into the script we had written, die after X seconds. I'm going to add a public game object to that and attach the blood spray to it. So let's go back in there. So public game object blood spray, and what I'll do is right before I destroy it I will instantiate the blood spray game object at our position, so transform.position, and we don't really care about changing the rotation of the blood spray. We want it to continue to stay shooting upwards, so we'll say quaternion.identity, which means no rotation. Alright, so save that script. Alright, last thing we need to do before we end this video is we need to attach the script that we had written to the exploding guy. And then here, I'll set his death time to something like, we'll do 3 seconds. And then I will attach that prefabbed blood spray to it as well. There we go. Last thing we have to do is hit play to test it. So here we go. After 3 seconds, there you go. Blood spray particle effect. That's it for this video. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to make exploding body parts, so stay tuned.